So it seems we have three little girls, sisters killed, daddy's on the run, veteran, survival training, sheriff looking for him, live manhunt. I'm sure you're interested like I am. Let's all share our opinions in the comments, see what they have up on this dude today. Maybe they'll catch him doing this goddamn live stream, right? Let's get into it.
Morning, police in Washington state releasing new video of the man wanted in the deaths of his three young daughters. Travis Decker seen in this doorbell video just days before police say he killed 9-year-old Paityn, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 5-year-old Olivia.
RIP to these little girls, first and foremost. Wow. Wow. Life just snuffed out, like by their dad.
Olivia.
Let's wrap this up and do what's right for your kids.
The girls left their mother's home Friday for a planned visit with Decker. On Monday, authorities found his truck abandoned in the town of Leavenworth. The bodies of his three daughters found in the woods nearby, but Decker was gone.
He could have scoped out this area before, put supplies out there, and has the ability and the knowledge to survive for a long period of time.
His family says Decker is highly skilled in wilderness survival. Investigators also looking into his military background. He served in Afghanistan before joining the Washington Army National Guard.
Clearly some of the knowledge he's probably acquired throughout his lifetime, in addition to the training he might or might not have acquired through the Army, is something we're taking into consideration.
Court documents say Decker had mental health issues. Police say it appears the girls were suffocated. Autopsy results coming as soon as today could help investigators piece together a clearer timeline. A reported sighting of Decker in Idaho was deemed not credible. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
And they said he suffocated them. You can't even do that. It's not like just being shot, bang, bang, bang. He suffocated each of them. That means they probably watched each other be snuffed out like that. Like, can you imagine being the last little girl seeing your sisters and you're like, Daddy, what the hell are you doing, Daddy? What's this one? I just pulled up some just to learn more.
In the wilderness of Washington state, an intensifying search for the man accused of killing his three young daughters.
These young girls were a victim.
These are the most recent images of 32-year-old Travis Decker. Authorities say he hasn't been seen since getting the three girls for a planned visit last Friday. Their mother reported them missing later that day. Then Monday, investigators found 9-year-old Paityn, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 5-year-old Olivia zip-tied and asphyxiated near a campground, according to court documents.
I don't know anyone in the community who wasn't crushed.
Decker, an Army veteran, is now wanted on 3 counts of murder and kidnapping. According to our CBS affiliate Cairo 7, Decker had missed all scheduled drills with the National Guard over the past year. And the girl's mother.
Oh, he's still with them. I thought he was like just a veteran. He's still with he a veteran, but he's still like reserved. Oh, he went
concerns
AWOL.
about his mental health.
Travis has really struggled since he left the military, and his mental health can be hard sometimes.
Last year, she told a court, Travis just keeps getting more and more unstable. He has made huge sacrifices to serve our country and loves his girls very much, but he has got to get better for a girl.
Damn, they didn't take her seriously or move fast enough. Look at this. And all this about, veterans this and benefits that. He needed help right away. He begging for it. She was begging for it for the girls.
Making the search more difficult, authorities say Decker has extensive survival training.
We have learned so far through our investigation today that he is well versed in outdoor survival. And talking with his father, it sounds at times that he would go out and would be leaving off grid for sometimes up to 2.5 months.
But from the land and air, the search continues. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Damn. Extensive. I found this one too. Shout out Plunder. Court documents. Travis Decker collided his 2017 GMC Sierra pickup and had a hit and run on 5/4/2025. So was it like a spiraling, or it was just like, was it out of nowhere? I mean, it seems like with the wife saying and with this saying, like it was a build up to this.
Took a lot of researching, but I was finally able to purchase 4 documents in the case of the state of Washington versus Travis Caleb Decker. We all know police are hunting down Travis Caleb Decker for the horrible things he did to his 3 daughters. This is the order for warrant on probable cause, so this is only 1 page. This apparently was filed yesterday, Tuesday, June 3rd, and it's a short one. It's just saying, based upon the info and supporting affidavit of Detective Hewitt of the Wenatchee Police Department, the court finds probable cause for the issuance of a warrant for the arrest of the above defendant. So we know that's Travis. It's hereby ordered that a warrant of arrest be issued for the arrest of Travis Caleb Decker upon the charges of aggravated murder in the first degree, 3 counts. Kidnapping in the first degree, 3 counts. His bail is fixed at no bail pending the defendant's first appearance in court. Hopefully they'll be able to find him and get him in court if he's still alive. One of these documents really shows his...
If he killed those 3 girls, I could almost bet he probably gonna take himself out. Like, he killed them. Like I wondered, did he try to go on the run with them at first, and then like, damn, I can't do it with him, and he took him out rather than go back to the mother? Like, is this one of those simply like, well, if I can't have you, she ain't gonna have you, and now he on the run? Or is he gonna take out himself if the police? I feel like if he cornered, he gonna take out
wife's
himself.
Pain, what she went through, reporting her girls missing, how upset she was. I should be able to put a link below to these documents. I'll upload them so the folks that prefer to download them and read them that way can. This is another 1-pager. I'll get through the 1-pagers quickly. This is filed June 3rd, 2025. His warrant of arrest. There's his birth date. He has a birthday coming up in a couple of months. He'll be 33 again if he's still alive. In essence, it talks about the kidnapping in the first degree, the aggravated murder. Judge Robert Jordan signed it. No bail until first appearance. So like yesterday, we listened to the presser, we listened to dispatch audio. I can still go through more. Some horrific details started coming out as soon as I filmed the previous video. Now let's read this 5-pager, the amended information. It shows Travis Decker, and it's basically just listing his counts. It's saying on or about between Friday, May 30th, we know that's the day the girls were picked up by Travis and not brought back. So they're listing just the initials of the girls and their date of birth. That always gets me when they say a human being to remember. You know, these victims were human beings, and they had vigils for the girls, and to see their little friends so upset, and even one other dad, he cried. Oh, it's heartbreaking. They had a presser last night. There should be another one tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I hope by then they have him in custody. But these are just the count.
Look at it. His big ass took out 3 little girls. Supposed to be his little girls.
So, of course, we see count 1, count 2, count 3 for each of the girls. They're calling the crime part of a common scheme or plan. Max penalty for the above crime is life in prison without parole. They're listing the girls' initials, their birth dates. You know, we got to look at Olivia's room and her little pillow in her room when she was a baby in the previous video. It's just so heartbreaking. And now we have count 4 for the kidnapping charges. Again, for all 3 girls, especially particularly vulnerable victims, and he used his position of trust. That's what one man said. How does he explain to his daughter, his 10-year-old daughter, this man who was at the vigil crying? Like, how do I explain to my daughter that a dad could do this to his own daughters? They're giving the max penalties, life in prison, and or a $50,000 fine for the kidnapping charges. So, of course, they have...
There's some shit you should only see on Insidious or something. Like, somebody in the movie, they're just inflicted with a demon, and a demon kills their family, and then somehow you hope that, like, when the demon come out, the whole world see it and know it wasn't his fault or something. Like, for this shit to be real life is crazy.
have count 5 and then count 6. So that's it for that one. I think the one I found the most compelling, telling the human side of the story, is this one, filed yesterday, June 3rd, Travis Decker. So this tells us the story. On May 30th, that would have been Friday, so this would have been around 9:34 p.m. So Whitney arrived in the lobby at the WPD to report a civil complaint. So she was on top of it. She advised patrol that her ex-husband, Travis C. Decker, had failed to return their 3 children, so he should have had them back at 8 p.m. He was in violation of their agreed upon and court-ordered parenting plan. So Corporal Gonzalez noted Whitney appeared distraught and looked like she had been recently crying. She advised that her and Decker were previously married but have been divorced for several years and have 3 children together. Along with the divorce, the two have had a parenting plan in place, with the most current one issued by a judge on September 27, 2024. The current parenting plan limits Decker's visitations to every other weekend with specific...
Yo, is it just me or these pictures are like the tone of the pictures feels like some old school Charles Manson shit. Like, it's just like if I would have seen these pictures together, like, oh my God, look at her, the 3 beautiful girls. Like, I don't know if it's the editing that making it seem like that, but it's crazy.
Every days from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The order also specifies no overnight visits, and the visits will only occur in the Wenatchee Valley. So Whitney reported that Decker picked up their daughters from her residence, and we will kind of blur that out, around the scheduled time of 5 p.m., but did not return them. He didn't return at the scheduled 8 p.m., and I think that was odd from what I've read. She stated she attempted to call Decker multiple times, but his cell phone goes straight to voicemail, which typically means the cell phone is off or out of service. Whitney expressed concern because Decker reportedly has never done this before, and further noted he is currently experiencing some mental health issues. So unlike what I was thinking, maybe she had run into problems with him before returning the girls, but no, it says he's never done this before. At the time of the initial report, Whitney explained that Decker does not currently have a stable residence and is considered homeless. He is known to often stay in hotels, motels, or he camps at local camp.
He should have had somebody else there, like a chaperone. He was homeless. He was having mental health issues. They know he ain't got a place to stay. So it's like, where you gonna take the girls? You should have a chaperone in a certain place. Like that's crazy.
Grounds. But Whitney did not know where to find him. Corporal Gonzalez stated he attempted Decker's cell phone number, but it went straight to voicemail, identifying the cell phone as Decker's. So Whitney knows Decker drives a white truck, but was unsure what kind. She, however, noted that he had recently been cited for driving without insurance. Corporal Gonzalez conducted a record search and identified Decker's truck as a white 2017 GMC Sierra, and there's his plate. Exactly. Wow, so he had just been in a collision on May 27th, 2025, and he was in fact cited for some infractions following the investigation by
So wait, he was homeless, but like he couldn't go to any of his drills for being in the guard, and then he had money problems. Now he getting cited. His truck ain't good. Listen, we just in that position. A truck ain't pass emissions. You had the crazy price to fix it, over $3,000 to fix it. So if he was in these problems and things were going down and he thought maybe they were taking his little girls, boom, his PTSD, he snaps. It's just sad. And then I read something, maybe we're going to get to it, that like the police didn't really make it an Amber Alert. They should have made it an Amber Alert immediately.
PD patrol. Wow, and he was just in another collision on May 4th, 2025, but he left the scene. Call notes say there was no damage to the other vehicle when patrol arrived, and the other driver declined a need for follow-up. Okay, so in that hit and run, Travis just left. First of all, why is he getting into 2 crashes in May? And I
guess it's not really a hit and run if nothing happened. I guess there's no damages. So they ain't follow up on it. But if it had been, I guess, more serious, then it would have got him. But he didn't know. He didn't even stay to see whether it was more serious. He just like, I can't be in another accident. I'm gone. And he still ain't got insurance. They probably would have took his car because he just got into one. Yeah, his life was
cited
breaking
for what?
apart.
Just driving without insurance? What were the penalties? Boy, what a mess. That would be interesting. So they were able to find his type of truck, but I'm wondering what the heck was going on with him in May. Corporal Gonzalez checked
His
Decker's
life was
vehicle
tumbling
registration
down,
through the
that's all.
flock safety and found the truck was last registered by automatic license plate readers northbound on the Wenatchee Bridge. So indeed, we had seen a photo of them catching, the flock cameras catching his truck. Camera F002 North Wenatchee Avenue at Horse Lake Road, NB at 1741 hours, indeed at 5:41 p.m. So he noted this was likely after Decker picked up his daughters and suspected he may be headed to a hotel or campground in the North End. After the contact with Whitney, Corporal Gonzalez checked all hotels, motels in the city limits, as well as Confluence State Park. While at Confluence, he spoke to a park ranger and was able to check their camping roster. Decker was not listed as staying at any campsite. East Wenatchee PD Officer Conley was contacted and asked to check East Wenatchee hotels, motels for Decker's vehicle. After a search of the area, Decker's vehicle was not located. So they were right on it, doing their due diligence, trying to find this man. Given the circumstances, an attempt to locate was initiated for all Valley agencies to be on the lookout for Decker, his vehicle, and the children. Corporal Gonzalez investigated further and consulted with the Washington State Patrol Missing and Endangered Person Unit. He provided the facts of the case to screen for an Amber Alert. So he was trying to get an Amber Alert, but based on the fact there was no current evidence to believe the children were at risk of serious bodily injury or death.
That right there, why the police in hot water now. There was no serious threat of bodily injury. You have this man, this veteran who has mental illness. He's had it before. He's been in multiple car crashes. His wife is stating, hey, he needs help for the kids. He loves the kids, but he ain't good for them right now. His life is tumbling down. He's known to be homeless. He has an order, a court order, that he's not to keep the kids overnight. The moment that court order was done with or violated, there's a serious risk. Like anytime somebody willingly violate a court order, not call in, not say nothing, you're not answering, that should have been considered just jump, boom, wow. Court order, what? Serious.
It did not qualify. Well, I don't know, those two crashes in May that Decker had, and him not bringing the children home, and Whitney saying his state of mind was a little bit different, I think maybe that should have qualified. Whitney was advised of the updates and inability to locate the children, Decker, or his vehicle. She was advised to call Rivercom immediately if and when she hears from Decker. So that's just like call 911 if and when she heard from him. But now we're moving on to Saturday. On Saturday, May 31st, there was a large social presence looking for information into the whereabouts of Decker and the children. By the time I saw the social media posts, it was clear that Whitney had not been able to contact Decker for over 12 hours, and from WPD's pass down, it was noted that one of the children had an event planned at a local park the morning of that Decker and the children never showed up for. So we did see Whitney's post. We talked about that yesterday, that post on Saturday that started going viral where she talked about, my ex-husband never brought the girls home last night. With a continued concern about the lack of communication from Decker, I met with Whitney at her parents' residence in Wenatchee to get further details. Whitney explained that she and Decker were married for about 7 years but have since been divorced for a few years. She explained the divorce was civil and initially Decker had housing and was allowed overnight visits. Yeah, I read that he had taken the girls previously, like on overnight camping trips and stuff. Anyway, it says, however, when he lost housing, the parenting plan was readdressed to accommodate accordingly. Whitney denied any domestic violence during their marriage, but did mention moments of power or control he used. She provided the examples of randomly leaving or waking her up by screaming at her in the middle of the night. Oh, that's scary. She also said near the end of the marriage, he was diagnosed with borderline borderline personality disorder that she believes he currently does not take medications for. Yeah, I read that in an article too. While married, Whitney and Decker had 3 children in common. She identified them as 9-year-old, they're just calling her PD, 8-year-old ED, 5-year-old OD. They reportedly have a good relationship with Decker and enjoy their time with him. I bet they did, just being little girls, and a dad obviously with a love of the outdoors. You know, they probably loved camping with him. Maybe they thought it would just be another lovely camping trip. The overall relationship was reported to be good, and the children enjoy their time with Decker. Whitney also reported no issues with recent visitations and stated her and Decker are communicative with issues surrounding them and if either will be late for any reason. So usually they talk. They let each other know if they're going to be late. She reiterated that Decker has never failed to return the kids. The parenting plan provided by Whitney specifies the visitation hours and discusses holiday and birthday considerations. Notable concerns are reasons putting limitations of parenting. Notable concerns are reasons putting limitations of parenting, whatever that means. I think it should say notable concerns are putting limitations on parenting. Maybe that's what they meant. Show Decker has neglected his parental duties and has a long-term emotional or physical problem that gets in the way of his/her ability to parent. The plan also notes details about access to the children and ability to talk with them via cell phone when needed. Whitney said they agreed to the plan, but the signature line states Decker refused to sign. So why did he refuse to sign this parenting plan? That would be interesting to note. Decker is also supposed to seek mental health treatment.
He might have been one of those say, I don't like the government, I don't want my signature on there. They trying to trap me or find out my signature so they can put it on something else, or the outdoorsy type, hide his cell phone, put it in an aluminum foil bag so it don't have no signal.
And DV anger management counseling under the parenting plan, but has not. The exchange on Friday occurred without issues. However, Whitney noticed Decker was quieter than usual, which was out of character. So that was just one thing she noticed. He was just quieter. She mentioned the recent ticket being a financial burden for him, along with garnished wages due to back child support. So yeah.
See, back child support, garnished wages, one ticket, fines, and then you got another one, a hit and run. Now he probably like, oh, it's just a matter of time for the police come and get me because that hit and run I had the other day, he don't know how bad it is or how bad it's not. And he's like, oh, when that happened, then the judge going, I got limited custody right now with my girls. When that happened, they ain't gonna let me take them camping and do nothing no more. Like, they're gonna zip it up and say I gotta come meet them at the courthouse for an hour in the judge chambers. Like, he probably was scared and everything happened. And she lucky, the wife, well, I'm sure she don't feel it, but we know she lucky that he ain't take her out too.
Was he harboring anger and resentment over the child support, I wonder? She then added he has been talking about getting rid of his dog due to housing and further financial concerns. Whitney stated his children and his dog are the 2 big positives in his life. Indeed, I read about that too. And that's a big red flag with him talking about getting rid of his dog. Whitney also stated when overnight camping trips have been allowed, they've been planned in advance with clear details of the plans. The children also leave with a bag of clothing and appropriate attire to spend the night outdoors. When they left home, they had the clothes on their back. So now we're moving to June 2nd, Monday. As of June 2nd, 2025 at 9 a.m., there's been no contact with Decker and his cell phone continues to go straight to voicemail when called. He's failed to return the children on Friday, May 30th, 2025 at 8 p.m. He failed to return the children on Saturday, May 31st, 2025 at 7 p.m. He failed to return the children Sunday, June 1st at 5 p.m. Decker then failed to show up to work this morning and his boss noted some recent mental health concerns. Given that Decker has failed to return the children when directed and with no open communication with Whitney, it is believed there is an intent to withhold the children permanently from Whitney. That's what he did until she sees them in heaven. And given that he has superposed, placed on or above something else so that both things coincide. And given that he has superposed 3 different scheduled times. Yeah, so he missed those 3 scheduled times for return of the children. It's believed that he is well past a protracted period of time, and given that the children left home with no supplies for the extended time, it is believed there is substantial risk of illness or physical injury. Therefore, there was probable cause to arrest Travis Decker for 3 counts of custodial interference in the first degree, and on June 2nd, 2025, a warrant for his arrest was requested and later granted by the Chelan County Superior Court Judge Robert Jordan in an active attempt to locate Decker and the children. Law enforcement utilized a variety of resources and known tools to include cell phone records and timing advance automatic.
At this point, they probably knew, like, damn, more than likely he hurt these little girls. To have a man who's struggling financial already, it ain't like he's some rich drug lord or a rich guy who taking his kids and he can go on a run and they got unlimited money and cash. Nah, he was already struggling living in his car. What's the odds that a man struggling already can barely keep his car registration and everything else is going to take 3 girls and provide for them? It's not. Nah. Hey.
License plate readers, canvassing of the area for security, search of possible locations in the region, and social media. On Monday, June 2nd, 2025, a larger and more intensive search was conducted across Chelan County with the help of CCSO and eventually family, friends, and volunteers as people began to learn about the children's disappearance. See, that's people began to learn Monday, June 2nd. If it could have gotten an Amber Alert Friday night when Whitney came in the police department's office and it would have gone to everyone's phone, I don't know if it would have made a difference, but I can't help but wonder, would more people...
Damn near 3 days before an Amber Alert was put out with these girls, they were most likely dead already. Who knows if somebody who know him would have known who he was, or his parents, or somebody would have got in contact with him, or seen the truck. Like, that's
people have known Friday night, and then could he have been captured Friday and the girls saved? At around 3:56 p.m. on June 2nd, 2025, CCSO Deputy McLeod located Decker's vehicle. So this is what we listened to yesterday. His vehicle was unoccupied in the area of Rock Island Campground in Leavenworth, Washington, off Icicle Road with the nearest city town of Leavenworth. The campground is located in unincorporated Chelan County in the state of Washington. Law enforcement personnel from Chelan County Sheriff's Office and Wenatchee Police Department, along with helicopter support from Homeland Security Investigations, converged into the area. We heard all this on dispatch. Approximately 75 to 100 yards past where the vehicle was located and down a small embankment, CCSO deputies located the bodies of 3 school-aged children. Due to current safety concerns and scene preservation, the bodies have yet to be approached, but there are some clear signs of lividity. This is the trigger part. Each has a plastic bag over the head. Based on the totality of the circumstances, including the proximity...
Each of them got a plastic bag over their head. Damn. I don't know if he did it one by one. For some reason, I just hope he did, like, they were outside of the car. He called each of them there one at a time and did it or something. Didn't, like, him fighting with all 3 girls and, like, them struggling too much. I really don't want to imagine that.
To the vehicle and visible attire of the bodies, which is consistent with the clothing the children were wearing when they were transferred to Decker for visitation. They are presumed to be the 3 Decker girls. So it was only 75 to 100 yards past where the vehicle was located. Decker's location is currently unknown, and there is currently a coordinated effort to search the immediate area, if not further, for him, so the scene we have can be searched. Around the vehicle along the way to where the children are located, more trigger alerts here. Officers, deputies located zip ties and plastic bags strewn throughout the area. The tailgate of the pickup truck also has what appears to be 2 handprints of blood. I don't know if that's Travis's handprints or what, but but it's on the tailgate of the pickup truck. The truck has personal items to include blankets, car seats, food, miscellaneous items, and a wallet on the center console. During the search of the area, an abandoned camp was located at nearby in the approximate area of those coordinates with signs of recent activity. The camp consists of a fire pit, tent, and cooler, and within a short walk from where the vehicle and the bodies were located. So I'm wondering, did he take them camping first? Did he make a little fire pit and pitch a tent and have drinks in a cooler? Or did Travis set that up afterwards? Cell phone records of Decker's cell phone acquired Saturday under exigency, it's an immediate emergency, show that Decker likely traveled to the area on Thursday, May 29th, 2025 evening, and returned to Wenatchee Friday morning. Under the totality of the situation, it appears that Decker drove through the area the night prior and returned the next day with the children. So this is how they're saying it was very much likely premeditated. So this is his May. He's having 2 crashes in May, different dates. One was kind of like a hit and run, and one showed he had no proof of insurance. So near the end of the month, May, Thursday, May 29th, he's deciding to drive to the campground, to the area. So it's premeditated, like he was mulling over, planning what he was going to do to his daughters that Friday, May 30th. Preliminary examination suggests the likely cause of death was asphyxiation. Their wrists were also zip-tied or showed signs of being zip-tied. They were also positively identified as the Decker girls by the Saladeen County coroner. There is probable cause to arrest Travis C. Decker for 3 counts of murder in the first degree and 3 counts of kidnapping first degree. So it's signed, it's not dated there, and that's it. Very, very, very sad. Horrifically sad. I'm grateful to see Whitney's GoFundMe getting so much attention and support. I mean, nearly $500,000 as of Wednesday, June 4th at 12:37. But I'm sure
she deserved that much more. That money ain't gonna do nothing. Hopefully she can, after she bury her little girls, go on a vacation or something, not think of working or nothing just for a little bit and just, yeah, she deserved that. Yeah,
she'd give it all away to just get her girls back. I'll just watch the presser tonight and see if there's updates. I'm just praying this man is found. Hebrews 9:27 through 28. And just as it is appointed and destined for all men to die once, and after this comes certain judgment, so Christ, having been offered once and for all to bear as a burden the sins of many, will appear a second time when he returns to earth, not to deal with sin, but to bring salvation to those who are eagerly and confidently waiting for him.
I left that right there just because the sister put this together for us and we watched it, so you got to be respectful. Look at his mom and her 3 girls. It's crazy. This picture is crazy to have now, considering. Look how that, oh my God, I don't know how that woman must feel. Let me see. I don't think there's anything new. I think that might be it, but let me refresh. Maybe we'll see they caught his ass while doing this live. Nah, nothing new. Damn. Is that a different video? Nah, I can't do all this. I ain't seeing nothing new. Family attorney.
Greg Joyce, that attorney was. We are getting a fuller picture, falling apart with mental illness.
He probably was talking to himself right there.
He did have some limitations on his parenting time due to his mental illness.
The mother's attorney in the custody case says Travis became homeless a year and a half ago after leaving the Army as a Ranger.
He left voluntarily, so I believe his discharge was honorable. I think as far as the reserves, he just stopped showing up.
The attorney says Travis worked a couple of minimum wage jobs and at one point was talking to the Carpenters Union about possible work, but his skills just didn't transfer.
There were no red flags. He was struggling with isolation. And
records show Decker was diagnosed with a serious mental illness. The attorney says that was most likely related to his combat and that
so he couldn't stay in probably if they diagnosed him with that.
Decker tried.
No updates yet. There was one 2 hours ago.
And tried to get help, but there was too much red tape to get veteran services.
She really feels that the system let her children down. It was the inadequacies in the services for our veterans that killed those children.
If you know he got that and he going through this and the stuff with his kids and his ex is saying this and that and that he a danger, and the judge should have seen that. Okay, hold on here, veteran. Let's get him some help with the VA. How's that going? Let's try to push that through, or get him mental service on the civilian side, because and maybe they can connect with the VA and try to escalate this thing. And like, it was so many injustice that would happen. Like, anybody at any level could have seen this if they would have just listened to that woman at any level, even after the girls were gone. If they would have listened to her and took it seriously and took him as a threat, it could have been a Amber Alert that Friday instead of waiting until Monday. Even if they might have saved one of the little girl's life, who knows how he did this shit? And if he took them camping first, then that's even worse, because they could have had it done in Amber Alert. Look at all the camping spot, the local places, and boom. Okay, he over there. Let's take these little girls back. Get them some help.
That's it.
The attorney and the mom are also raising concerns about the state's Amber Alert system.
Yeah.
Law enforcement officials say they did not see Decker as an immediate danger to his own children, so no Amber Alert was sent out. The attorney says the mother thinks that was a deadly mistake.
They did not see him as an immediate physical danger to his children, despite the fact that he had a well-established history of mental health issues. And had they had seen it that way, those children might still be alive. And that's the thing that is so brutal. And the one thing she's really hoping can be changed in this tragedy.
Something need to be done about that. If you got, it should be a loophole in there. If you got a court order, like limited visitation, like you can't take your kids nowhere without permission, or you can't take them out of the state or vicinity. If you can't have them overnight, especially if you cannot have your kids overnight because of judge order and it got anything to do with mental health or domestic violence, it should be automatic. If they can't get in touch with you, if the police can't get in touch with you, it should be automatic Amber Alert. It should be in the contract. Like, hey, you know, if you're supposed to bring them back by 9 p.m., and you don't contact us, if an emergency happened or whatever, blah, 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 you better be dead and incapacitated at the hospital. But if you're supposed to bring it back by 9 and you ain't say, hey, this happened, blah, 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 by 12, or called your local police department and say, hey, I got a court order, I'm supposed to bring my kids back, blah, blah, blah. It's 8:50 and I'm here and I got a tire, blah, 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 and I got to fix it and I'm about to be late in 15 minutes. Okay, well, we'll send an officer out there to make sure it's cool. Whatever it is, hey, an officer might come and grab the kids, bring them to their mother, whatever. We ain't playing that. It should be automatic, high level. Why wouldn't it be? That's crazy. So I don't think it's an update. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Hopefully they find this man pretty goddamn soon. But let me know what y'all think. Yeah, I even think that he gonna be found alive. I think that he might off himself. He might be going on this little run just because he an Army Ranger and he gun ho and he like, I'm used to it, one last hurrah. Let me see how long I can last. And the government want me. I don't know. Or he might be a different personality right now and he snapped and he disassociated himself from the person that did that. And he like, somebody did this. I don't know who did it. And he's just on the run. They trying to kill me. They trying to kill us. And he's just running and not even thinking. That's most likely the case right now. But let me know what y'all think, Cave Dwellers. Like, share, subscribe, run it up. This is what we do, man. RP to these little girls. Hopefully this mother can snap back, get something of a life, some semblance of a life together. That's just crazy.